Hi and welcome to today's Python tutorial. So today I'll be showing you how to create this temperature converter using PySide GUI in Python. As you can see, I can insert any temperature in Celsius and it can convert that to Fahrenheit. And then I can also go into the Fahrenheit Q line edit and then I can put in the degrees in Fahrenheit, and as you can see it just converts that into degrees centigrade. How did I do this? Find out in today's video. So we're going to open Qt Designer, and then inside here we're going to create a new form. So we're going to create a new one and it's going to be widget. So click on create, bring it to the middle, and then we're going to change its name to widget. Then next we're going to set some dimensions for it. So it's going to be, so we're going to set its height to 387, enter. We're going to set its height to 208. So that shall work for us. Then next we're going to set some color for it. So we're going to change its style sheet color. So we're going to set its background color. So type hash 4999F7. Then click apply. So that's going to be the color. Then we're going to add a Q label for the title. So we're going to call this temperature converter. And we're going to increase its font size, set this to 15. And we're going to set this to Poppins extra bold. So now we're going to change its color. So go into change style sheet and then we're going to set its color to white. Alright, that looks better. And we're going to add some more Q labels. Call this Celsius. And we're going to set the font size to 12 pixels. And we're going to set this to Poppins. And we're also going to go into its style sheet. And we're going to set this to white. Now next we're going to add a line edit. So we're going to place it in. So this is our line edit. Then we're going to set its width and height. It shall be 113 by 51. Then we're going to give it a placeholder. So scroll down to the bottom and look for where you have placeholder text, and then we're going to set this to 0. And we're going to go and style our Q line edit. So we're going to change the style sheet. So we're going to set its background color to white. Click apply. Then next we're going to give it a border radius of 10 pixels. Then we're going to give the text inside it color hash 1D84 FC and click apply. We can now close that. Then we're going to go where we have the horizontal alignment and we're going to set that to center. Then go to the top to where we have the font size. Then we're going to set this to font size 16 pixels. So I already have a folder I've created called temperature converter, and in it is a folder called images that actually has an arrow like that. So now I want to make sure I can actually access this resource. So I'm going to add a resource. So I'm going to go there, then we're going to open that folder. Open the folder temperature converter, and then here I'm going to create a resources file, resources.qrc. Click save. Then I'm going to add prefixes that actually allow us to link to the folder where you have the resources. Then we're going to add the folder images, select whatever is inside and click open. Then we're going to click OK, and now we have access to our resources. So now next I'm going to use a Q label, place it here, and I'm going to replace it with the image. So scroll down to where we have pixmap. Then here we're going to replace that with the image. So click here and select the image and click open. Then I'm going to set this to scaled contents. and we can now scale it up better. You can scale it down. So place it in. Then I can duplicate this, click copy, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Then I can place this to the, and I'm going to change this text to Fahrenheit. And I'm going to change this, then I'm going to change its placeholder text to 32. So that's more like it. Let's make sure that all this is visible. Alright, that's better. So we're going to select this Q line edit, go to where we have this, then we're going to call it Celsius line edit. And go to where we have this, edit, change that to Fahrenheit line edit. Alright, so once we've done that, we can now save this. So we're going to go and save. So we're going to save this in the folder that I had created called Temperature Converter. Then I'm going to name it widget.ui. Click Save. And that's it with Qt Designer. So when we've opened Visual Studio Code, we can now drag our file or folder inside there, and then once it's opened, we can now see it here. So now we're going to convert the widget.ui file into a Python file. So inside here, inside the terminal, we're going to type PySide -uic widget.ui greater than sign UI widget.py. So that shall be the name of the converted file. So we're going to change the encoding of this file. So it comes with encoding of UTF-16, which may cause errors. So we're going to change that to UTF-8. Alright, now once we're done with that, we can now convert the resources file also into Py. So we're going to type PySide6 -rcc. So here it is. Then resources.qrc, then -o, then resources_rc.py. That shall be the file. Alright, so we're done with that. Then we're going to create two new files. So the first one shall be called main.py. Then we're going to create a second one that we shall call widget.py. Then open widget.py, and inside here we're going to import some components from PySide Qt widgets. We're going to import Q widget, and then under that we're also going to import the main class from UI widget file. We're going to import, it's called UI widget. Then here class widget is what we're going to create. It's a subclass of Q widget and UI widget. Then we're going to define its constructor. So underscore init, let's actually spell that well, underscore init, and then actually let's correct that, self. Then we're going to have the super dot init right here, and then we're going to have this method is important, setup.ui. It will actually allow us to run the UI inside here. Then we're going to set the Windows title. We're going to call this Temperature Converter. Alright, so once we're done with that, we can now define the different methods. So the first method shall be that shall convert the temperature. So we shall need three methods in this case. So this won't have any argument, but now we're going to have others to have arguments for converting to Celsius and to convert to Fahrenheit. So this will help us convert to Celsius. So Celsius to Fahrenheit. Actually, this will convert to Fahrenheit from Celsius. And this shall convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Alright, so inside here we're going to create a return. So we're going to now create a functionality. So it shall be the, let's first create an argument. So the argument shall be the Celsius value, and then here we'll get that Celsius value, which shall be Celsius variable, and then we're going to multiply it to 9/5. Then outside that we're going to add 32. So that will give us the value in Fahrenheit. Then here under Fahrenheit we're going to give it an argument, the Fahrenheit value, and then this is where we're going to place it. Let's replace it here. So we're going to have that Fahrenheit value minus 32. Then we shall multiply it by, actually we shall multiply it by 5/9 to get the value in Fahrenheit, in Celsius actually. So that's how we'll do it. Alright, so now I want to make a connection to the line edits that we had created. So remember the Celsius line edit, we're going to see if text changes on it, and then we're going to connect it to the method convert temperature. Then we're also going to do the same thing for the Fahrenheit line edit. So we have two line edits that we need to make a connection to, and we need to sense where text is changing from. So under here, inside convert temperature, we're going to create a try method, and then we're going to have a connection to the method sender that will detect which line edit is actually sending a signal or where changes are happening. So we need to check which input field is being edited. So we're going to be using the sender method. So sender shall be equal to self.sender method. So it shall detect which one is actually sending the value. Alright, so once we're done with that, we can now check which different line edit is actually sending the signal. So we're going to check that Celsius line edit. So if it is one that's sending the signal, we're going to get the Celsius value from there. So the Celsius value shall be equal to the value that, or the text that is actually inside the that line edit. Then we're going to convert that into a float so that we can actually use it because it comes as a string. So now the Fahrenheit value shall be equal to, so we're going to call the method that converts the Celsius value to Fahrenheit, in this case Celsius to Fahrenheit, and then we'll give it the argument of that Celsius value so that we get it. So now after we've done that, we're going to set the value in the Fahrenheit line edit. We're going to set its text to this value that we get from the Fahrenheit value. So we're going to type it in. So we're going to give it the Fahrenheit value. Then we want to give it 2 decimal places, so it's going to be 0.2f. Then we want to type the text, so we want to have a superscript involved. So we're going to have this first Unicode extension. So make sure to have this actually installed. It will actually help us because degrees needs to be in superscript when you type that text. So we're going to type slash upper arrow, then we're going to type in 0, then click enter. So once you type enter, you actually see the degree, and then you're going to type in F. So it should work that way. Then else, if the sender is actually now if we have it as the one from we're going to have it from the Fahrenheit line edit. If it is in that case, we're now going to first get that Fahrenheit value. So the Fahrenheit value shall be equal to the text that is actually inside the Fahrenheit line edit. So we're going to get that text, and then we're going to convert it into a float. Now the Celsius value shall be what we get, so we're going to send it into the Fahrenheit Celsius method. Then we're going to give it the argument of the Fahrenheit value. Then now we're going to convert the line edit. We're going to convert its text to the Celsius value that we get. Then we're going to type in stroke upper arrow, then click 0, click tab, and then you actually get the superscript. Then click C, and then there we have it. So we've actually successfully done that. Alright, so lastly we're going to add the exception. So in case there's a value error, we're going to put the value here, but I'm going to leave it empty for now in this case. So but this is where you actually place it. So go into your main file, then here we can also import components. So we're going to import SYS, then from PySide6 Qt widget we need to import the Q application. So import Q application. Under here we're actually also going to import the main class from the widget, and there we go. So spell that well. Then here we're going to now create an instance of Q application SYSARGV. Then here we're also going to create an instance of the WinJet class, and we're going to click widget.show, then app.execution. So there we go. Now we are done. So we can now test our file. Now we're going to run the Python file, then it should open. Alright, so now we can experiment with it. Now we can type in some values. Let's type in value inside. Let's start with Celsius 34. As you can see, it becomes 93.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I can type in 90. As you can see, it gives me the value in Fahrenheit in the other Q line edit. And basically any value that you actually choose. Let's see what one is. 1 is 33.80, 0 is 32.00, and that is actually the correct one, 78. So basically you can try out any. Then inside the Fahrenheit Q line edit, I can also do the same thing. I can type in any value, then I get the value on the right in degrees centigrade, just like that. So this is how to create a temperature converter inside Python PySide6. I hope this video really helped you. If it did, feel free to give the video a thumbs up and tell me below in the comments if it actually helped you. Then if you're new to this channel, I encourage you to join the community by subscribing. Then make sure to hit the notification bell so that you get updated every single time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.